Good evening and welcome to your OJLL Game of the Week from the Tony Rose Arena here in Orangeville, Ontario. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville and the JBI Sports Network. The Orangeville Northmen perfect last season through the regular season, although they were ousted in the playoffs. So far, so good for the Toronto Beaches, trying to match that with a 7-0 record. We were all excited to watch Joey Spallina go head-to-head with Willem Firth. Big news off the top here, Jonathan Donville. No number 22 for the Orangeville Northmen.
Yeah, obviously a tough blow for the Northmen. Going to have to replace his production on that right side, and a tough one for fans as well. But we expect him to be back out there soon, and should be a good rest of the summer.
On the visitors' bench, the blue uniforms with yellow letters going right to left are the Toronto Beaches, away from Thomas Kizak and his 6-0 record and one-game goal-scoring streak as well, as he potted his first empty netter against Brampton a few nights ago. Cross they work to Greg Palmer. Palmer through the middle, couple stutter steps for Willem Firth. We're going to call that name a whole lot here tonight. He is the OJLL points leader with 54 through 7 games. Pass through the middle, bounces off the stick of Isaac Wills. Grabbed by the Northmen, and they'll bring it across center. Clinging hard shot from Aiden Long, in the first save made from Kizak.
Yeah, pretty good pace in this game. You mentioned it, Matty. Willem Firth, really a three-headed monster leading the way for Beaches. Firth, a Cornell guy. Matt Collison coming off an outstanding season for Johns Hopkins. And then Greg Palmer, one of the leading scorers in the OJLL. He's been fantastic. He's their main option on that right side. The three of them have really been dynamic this year, but a lot of other good players as well. We've seen Wills have some good games. A couple of American guys we'll highlight throughout the broadcast. So one of the best offenses, and obviously Firth, on a very short list of players in the country.
Quick stick to Trey Deer. That's the play that Orangeville liked to run with 91 down in the crease. That time, Kizak there to make the save. Back up top to the rookie, Dylan Sanderson. He gets knocked down, and now a triple team trying to knock the ball free. It does roll towards the crease, and Orangeville calling for the back in. Officials not going to oblige. Also missing from Orangeville's lineup tonight, Jaden Chipara, Colin Barnett, Cohen Jennings, and Jackson Shabbat. That makes room for Max Kruger, the AP from the midget team, to come up and make his debut in the Junior A lineup. Leah Matthews, he'll wheel around the top, now puts it down for Deer. Trey Deer, outside shot, Kizak the save. Rebound did bounce away, but it's picked up by the Beaches.
Yeah, pretty cool, Matty. Max Kruger was around our Orangeville team a lot. Obviously, Rusty Kruger, his father, the head coach now of Northmen, was an assistant coach for us, a great NLL player, longtime coach as well. We've been hearing a lot about Max's name a lot in the last few years. Pretty cool to see him finally make his debut.
First to Palmer, his shot may have caught Cameron Pack before going off the end boards. This will be picked up by Spallina. That's the other one, Jake, who plays defense. He'll leave it here in favor of Vince Onofrio, who's had a very strong start to his first OJLL campaign. Matthews, outside, shot clock down to 10. No room for Liam Matthews to work, spins back. Can he get the twister off the leg of Kizak and bounces out just in front of the crease?
Yeah, more opportunities for Matthews tonight and the rest of the Orangeville offense without Spallina, like we mentioned. Didn't have his best game when we were here for, last Friday for the Mimica game. Has been really electric since then. He's found his shot, one of the top scorers in the league and one of the most dynamic players, another fifth-year guy. He's played in a lot of big games in his career.
That big body on offense was Matt Collison. Ball ends up working back to the near side where the shot comes from AJ Nikolic. Ran through the scratches for Orangeville, and the one thing you'll notice is a lot of size not in the lineup tonight, so defense gonna have to step up against one of the most high-powered offenses in the OJLL, feeding through towards the crease. That ball looking for Owen Ron. They go back to the crease again while being knocked down. Cam Sanderson got a good shot away.
Yeah, it's really going to be the Sanderson show on that right side without Spallina.
Tried to float it through again, did Garen Jennings. Another rookie who's had a couple big games when called upon. Lining up the shot was Dylan Sanderson. Had it knocked away, but then a bit extra on the back end. Gives it here to the Beaches. Palmer over the top. Collison elected to go back towards the crease where it didn't go to Peyton Booth. Speaking of good rookies. Aiden Long running down just as he came back to the crease. Setting up his shot, lost the ball, and then got worked over behind the crease. Long and, Caden Hewitt involved, and the penalty is going to come here to Aiden Long and Orangeville as it bounces back over the timeline. It'll be a roughing call for the first one of the night, and Rusty Kruger doesn't like it, thought it should have gone both ways.
I certainly see Rusty's point here, but this is one of the oldest, coaching points in the book, man. They always take the second guy out of these kind of, plays, action behind the play. Orangeville just with one extra slash in there. That's what's going to get them the penalty. And this Beaches power play, so talented with Palmer, Carlson, and Firth up top.
One eye here, one eye on a couple other storylines, including Mimico keeping their perfect season alive in overtime against Oakville, showing 7-6 the final there. Here's Palmer. His shot in on Richards. First really good save made by the Orangeville goaltender in this one.
Yeah, he's been really good. We saw his first game last Friday, his first game back of the season. A couple more efforts now to settle in. No surprise that Orangeville's getting good goaltending. It's been that way for the better half of a couple decades.
Elsewhere in the out-of-town scoreboard, overtime solves nothing between Kitchener, Waterloo, and Burlington. Who would have thought that would be the case as a bounce shot sails wide for Orangeville. 10-10 your final there. Also tonight, St. Catharines and the Arrows at the ILA. We'll keep an eye on that as this game progresses. Still scoreless here to the first 5.5 minutes with 1:10 left to go on the Beaches power play. Firth will run it up top. Down to Booth in the corner. Couple fakes and looked like it got into the legs of Richards and had to quickly close the door. Peyton Booth looking back through the middle to Hamish McPherson. Got a late start after a lengthy D1 playoff run.
Yeah, Hamish plays his college ball at University of Maryland for Coach Tillman down there, all the way to the national finals this year. A tough loss in the finals to Notre Dame, but a great run through the Final Four and in the playoffs.
Look at the fine for Sanderson as that was, Garen Jennings leading his man towards the crease, and that ball just skipped away. Now only 19 seconds left. Final opportunity perhaps for the Beaches man advantage. Collison off to his right, gets it back, fakes the shot. Palmer. Now Collison again, and he'll take it this time off the left wing of Richards, and Firth controls the rebound. As they look to the penalty box door, Collison takes another shot, saved by Richards, and Long is down floor, fresh out of the box, and can't pick up the pass. Cole Teeple crashes into his man. Ball's going to roll back towards center. Not sure that Orangeville ever got a shot clock here. They're trying to save the over and back anyways, just in case. And now it's going to be a moot point as Toronto gets a fresh 30. Firth to the outside, Collison. Works it quickly into the corner, trying to find Firth cutting back towards the crease. And that was Liam Aston, who's had a good couple games.
Yeah, good set there defensively for Orangeville. You mentioned, Maddie, the lack of size in the lineup tonight for Orangeville. Maybe not as damaging against Beaches as against some other teams. Beaches not the biggest offense in the world. They really rely on east-west passing. So having a little bit more quickness, a little more savvy is not the worst thing against Beaches offense, with the exception of Collison. You got to get hands on the big guy. He can really burn you in one-on-one situations.
Onofrio's shot wide, opening a chance for perhaps Liam Aston. He'll leave for Palmer now. Quick change happening on the bench to get the big man back out there. Collison, one high step, now a second, drops the shoulder, the shot. And Richards the save, bouncing in his crease. Palmer nearly picked it up. and it falls into the stick of Donnie Scott.
Yeah, great example there of exactly what I'm talking about. Zach Poirier did his best for Orangeville, but when Collison decides to go to the net, there's not a whole lot they can do. You got to stay on the cross check with the first guy and then try to bring help.
Poirier coming over in a trade with St. Catharines, one of their top picks from a year ago. Worked out well for Orangeville as Jamison Bucktooth kind of surprisingly went the other way and has yet to play a game for St. Catharines. David Peterkin back for Booth, down in the corner. Palmer working it back through Wills into that dangerous left side of the floor. This is Firth. Looks back up for Booth. Northmen doing a good job taking all the shots away, but Firth still manages to find one as he so often does, although it can't beat the shot clock.
Yeah, excellent defensive possession there for Orangeville. I thought Beaches really had some good movement going. Wills is a very savvy pick setter. I've loved his chemistry with Firth. Some pretty good opportunities there. Orangeville just stays in the play, stays hustling, and kind of mitigated any good looks there.
Deer on the crease again, and that one the leading tower. Shot it just wide. Dylan Sanderson will recover possession. Briefly switched hands, then goes right back to his right side to get it to Onofrio. Trey Deer will bring it down. 25 seconds away from the halfway mark of the period already, Donnie.
Yeah, we haven't had a dead ball yet, Maddie, unless I'm forgetting something. No goals. I guess we had the penalty.
We had the penalty. I think that's it, though.
That's it.
Jennings across. Kazak drags it back into his crease and is looking for an outlet. Will finally find one in Sheldon Broughton.
Broughton certainly on a short list of guys for best flow in the OJ, arguably best flow in the country.
I was just going to say, I think we've seen every team now, and I have yet to see one that matches. Here's Collison. Tried to float it down into the corner. Now there's no time to recover, so he'll just rip a bouncer in on Richards, who held it there momentarily.
Yeah, first started looking for the rebound as the pass went right by his head. Great play by Greg Palmer there to force their turnover.
Poirier called for holding it against his body, so.
Bit of a quick whistle there, in my opinion, on the holding against your body. You know, I've seen guys do it a lot worse and get away with it.
Palmer up top wants it. Got the pass there from McPherson. They work it through to Wills again. Palmer on the run. That shot looked like it might have fooled Richards, but was just in good position. Now Long, down floor, looking to lead Elijah Edwards. And that one just bounced away.
Yeah, Richards plays his angles really well. He's a big goalie in there, not a lot of open space, and it doesn't seem like he's going to get fooled too often. So you got to try to get it to the pipes. You know, not a lot of bad goals are going to go in on him. He's been pretty sharp so far this year. You got to get it to the pipes, maybe worry a little bit less about the deception, and just try to hit the corners.
From the outside, Collison stumbles, and then all over him, Donnie Scott. I know you mentioned before you liked this game, although he gets beat here for the first goal.
If you're a fan of Johns Hopkins lacrosse, Matty, you saw this a lot this year. When Collison can get to his left hand, you know, he's a load to deal with. You really can't do a whole lot. 15, 25 seconds of really good defense here, and then once he gets going downhill, you just got to hope that you get a save. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Well, and the recovery, too. He was on his knees at the beginning of that possession just before the replay.
I think to my point about the cross-check, too, you're not going to strip a guy like that, at least not reliably enough. You got it. The first guy's got to get on him with the cross-check, and then you can try to bring help. Maybe the second or third guy can try to put it on the ground, but one-on-one, it's going to be pretty tough.
First goal comes 11 minutes and 26 seconds in. And back-to-back face-off violations against the Northmen.
Well, it's a good point by you about the late goal. We're saying all these things Orangeville needs to do better. They held the best offense in the league to no goals in the first 11.5 minutes. They're doing a great job. It's just that's what great players do. They make it really tough on you.
Well, we said it last time we were here. It is what the Northmen do, and do just enough to score their own as the game progresses. So we'll see where the answer comes from as Firth and Collison tried to connect there. Now falling. Ball's going to roll away from Peyton Booth, and three Northmen come across center, led by Aiden Long, Great job done by Owen Wills coming off the bench, though, to take that away.
Yeah, really, I was going to say the exact same thing. Really good play, just snuffs out that pick. They had about a 4-on-2 there, and Wills just essentially blows up all the picks and snuffs out that offensive possession.
This is Dylan Sanderson. Gets help from a pick from Cam. Now a hard shot from the outside. Bounces off Kazak. And we got a penalty coming here. Sanderson was involved with Caden Hewitt, and I wonder if they've picked up Hewitt here, although it is Matt Firth who's going off for a roughing call.
Pretty much a mirror image of that first penalty we saw, and along with the mirror image, Beach's bench not very happy about the call, but you're going to get the second one.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, contact around the head. Also they did call that first one on Orangeville,
sure.
So setting a little bit of a precedent there. So I think you're going to see that call a good amount of the time.
It's been a humid day here in Orangeville, and the officials were out early checking on the floor. And we get our first of what I expect is going to be a bunch of wipe downs here tonight, courtesy of the Orangeville Minor Lacrosse Association. Gives us a chance to let you know that GM of the Northmen, Nick Rose, will join me at intermission, talking about the new Northmen documentary and the next step in their production. So you'll want to stay tuned for that as Nick Rose joins me in the booth.
Yeah, really excited about that project. It's been coming for a while, and really excited to see the final product. I've known the Thompson brothers for quite a bit now. They went to school with my brother, and really excited to see what they got going on.
Trey Deere starting the power play up top. Normally likes to hang out down the crease, but remember, no Joey Spallina tonight. Now comes the movement off to the shooter spot. Pick from Matthews. He works his way to the crease, and that one was loose as it rolled through the crease of a sprawling Kazak.
What a save by Kazak there.
Stolen back by Matthews again, and a fresh 30 here, as even the defense was scrambling a little bit, trying to regain possession. Onofrio, couple big steps in, lets to shoot the second time. And again, another save, and outlet pass right to the front door. Firth on his wrong side, but the rag team is out there. Hidden ball play brought down by A.J. Nikolic.
Nikolic, one of two Americans on this Beaches team, both either at or heading to Cornell University. The viewers have heard me talk about that enough this summer, but he was in the same freshman class as Willem Firth. I believe they're living together maybe this summer. Credit, as always, Maddie, I always want to mention this, credit always to the American guys who come up. A lot of folks talk about it, not a lot of folks actually do it.
Trey Deere will flip this one to Matthews. Faked it back to the far side to Onofrio, who then faked his own pass. Matthews and Deere just playing catch for the moment. Into the corner, Garen Jennings now comes to play. Blown up by the Beaches and nearly intercepted. Matthews dives for it, but it's in the stick of Peterkin, and he runs and shoots just wide. Matthews picks it up, but on a clean hop, and there's a 4-on-2. Back in the offensive zone, Matthews to the crease. Couple fakes from Jennings, and what a save from Kazak again.
Now a lot of room here for Firth. See if he wants to press it.
One-on-one, gonna cut back across, shoots on the run, and Richards will cover up as we start to go end-to-end here with 5.5 to go in the first.
Yeah, you could see he wasn't quite sure if he wanted to go because they were still killing a penalty, but that's a good look. Richards has been really sharp here throughout the first period.
Sean Costigan involved here on the near side, and Costigan, who played for the Junior B program last year in Orangeville, getting called for a cross check. Him and Jack Warnarski involved on the near side.
I think this is going to be the save by Kaiser. It's going Deere to Sanderson into Matthews. That's a set play. Really nice save.
The transition back the other way.
Yeah, both goalies have really been on their games early here.
As we watch that big save from Kazak. Second power play of the game here for Toronto. They work it to the crease, and Palmer denied by Richards.
Richards plays very deep in his net. It makes those cross-crease passes really tough, even if I think Palmer missed the net there, but Richards was right there. just doesn't step out super far, plays the angles, and the real big advantage of that, because you give up a little bit of angle, is it's easier to get pipe to pipe, easier on the cross crease stuff. So I'd maybe look for Beaches to be more aggressive, especially Firth, just shooting it from the top.
Onofrio up top, Sanderson. This is Dylan facing the 2-on-1. They wheel around the top. We got another penalty in front of the crease as Connor Knock, the rookie, was on Trey Deer. And we're going to play 4-on-4 now as Knock heads off.
Another behind the play or off-ball penalty. You can't argue that they haven't set a precedent here. It's been two each way. I don't think the benches are happy with the calls, but eventually you got to send a message. They're calling this stuff. We've got to just stop with the extra slash.
Here's Richards making that big save back the other end. Sanderson works it across to Matthews. Matthews around the screen from Trey Deer. He goes back here to Onofrio. Big shot on the run. Kazak will pounce on the rebound.
Good job by Wills and Hewitt there on Beaches. Without Spalina, Deer and Matthews are really the two big guns. Good job on the left side there. I think for the most part, the more they can force it to the right side, Beaches will probably take that as a win. No disrespect to the great righties that Orangeville has, but Deer and Matthews, got to be the focus.
Collison through first. They go back to the top scorer again, and that shot bounces into the feet of Richards.
Yeah, speaking of, great defense at the end there for Orangeville. Donnie Scott and Cole Teeple I had there on the play, just finishing off that possession against Willem Firth, and Orangeville now heading to a brief power play.
Trey Deer from the outside. That'll be in about 10 seconds. Tried to get it back to Garen Jennings. It bounces dangerously close to the over and back line. Saved by Onofrio onto the crease. Deer can't catch it one-handed with a guy all over him. That was Chris Harland playing tight defense.
Yeah, something weird is going on with the game clock here. The penalty ran out, and then it had more time on it, and something is going off with the penalty clock on the other side too. So I believe that's what the stoppage is for here.
Just checking the OJLL app, which you can download at the App Store. And 7-6 your final, as we said, for the Mimico Mountaineers over Oakville Buzz on JR Tournament Weekend in Mimico. As we get another replay here. So that'll move them to 7-0 in a tie atop the standings with the Toronto Beaches.
A lot of good teams, Maddie, across the country. I think most people agree that Beaches and Mimico are the two best teams. Certainly, not saying anything crazy. They're the two undefeated teams left in Ontario,
sure.
but that really does seem to be, the top of the best of the class, so to speak, in Canada this year. And obviously, with both of them in the Toronto area, sets the OJLL up for some fun games, the Crombie Cup, and then maybe a future playoff battle as well.
Booth out to the outside. I believe the Crombie Cup starts this weekend in Mimico, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the Crombie Cup is
sure.
a term is a cup that is played between the two regular season games between the Beaches and Mimico every year. It started, I believe, my first year in junior. We've seen some other teams do it. There's the Rob McDougall Cup now. I think it's a cool way to kind of add some extra meaningful lacrosse into the season, and obviously honor some great people as well.
We covered the second game of that last year, and if you don't think it means anything, go back and watch the goal that Finn Thompson scored late as we get a cross-checking call here. I think it's long. Perhaps it's going to go off again. He's the one that looks most despondent about it.
That's another off-ball slash.
He was way back at center. It's not even off ball. That's almost in the parking lot.
I think they had it before that, and he was trying to break out, I think, but hard to see exactly. But, pretty much rinse and repeat. You see him at the top of your screen. Yeah, right in the head. These calls are going both ways. You can't really argue.
Around the back, Firth, Collison. Palmer had it. They look him off to go to Booth on the crease.
Yeah, Palmer's wide open right now. They're just trying to play the two lefties.
First is the one that shoots up top. Palmer behind the back, picks up his own rebound, and Richards takes care of that as well, but Collison has the rebound. Firth, Collison playing catch, now Palmer. Big fake shot from Firth. Palmer got stepped up on just as he was shooting. That forced it. I think it went off the crossbar before going up and out of play, so it will be a fresh 30, but...
Yeah, the key here, Matty, is Donnie Scott, the low man for Orangeville. He's got the decision to make. If he's got to try to get up to Palmer or also not let the cross crease go.
But you still have to respect the outside shot that any of those three can do, especially Willem Firth at any time.
I did say in the last power play, maybe you got to not look so much for the cross crease stuff and just shoot it. A good little double pick by Collison. That's one thing. The size helps with the picks as well. And then, I wish we had a different angle of that because that looked like it went pretty much perfectly into the bottom left corner. we talked, Matty, throughout the summer about some shooting stuff, and with Finn Thompson, there's every shot looks a little bit different. A million different releases. No two shots look the same. For Firth, he really does want to hit that overhand, kind of three-quarters overhand shot if he can, if his hands are free. The advantage of that is it makes it hard to guess as a goalie where it's going because every shot looks the same. He's got a twister and some other shots as well, but a little bit of a difference there, I think, between the two players.
27 assists for Matt Firth, and now Greg Palmer as well as he gets the assist on that goal. Wills with a big screen to open a shot from Collison. This one's going to bounce the length of the floor. We're closing in on the final minute here of the first period. Long bomb shot, Kazak. Well out of harm's way as they were late in the shot clock. So here comes Matthews. William Matthews spins away from a check. Far side, Sanderson. Cam to Dillon. Matthews to Trey Deer. Deer over the top, got stuffed. Now turns back. Big wide open shot coming from Sanderson. And Dylan Sanderson stopped. Meanwhile, Owen Wills was out and down floor.
A great defensive possession there from Chris Harlan on the Beaches defense, getting all over Trey Deer, not letting him see through the defense. This has been an outstanding first 20 minutes for that Beaches group. Everyone talks about the offense, but the defense has come to play.
I was just going to say very underrated part of their game because of how good the offense is, including that man right there, Matt Collison.
Matty, when we were talking about Collison and the different ways that you have to play him, the problem is the other guy in the two-man is the best player in the country, right there. Willem Firth, you see they get pushed down the alley, pretty good defense, and it goes to that one-handed flip. And then Collison just shoots through a screen, just so powerful, such a good shooter. He's a goal scorer. Box, field, doesn't matter. He's going to put the ball in the net.
So we go back to the face-off dot, back-to-back goals. Coming in 23 seconds, Orangeville will get the face-off and the timeout here.
Yeah, good play by Vincent Ofrio there. Little hidden play to earn the 6-on-5. Most importantly, it's not going to Beaches. That could be a big turn.
Right.
It was 2-0. It looked like Orangeville was going to get last shot. Beaches scores. If they win the face-off, go 6-on-5, this game can really turn on its head. So a hidden play there off the face-off, but an important one.
Getting a look at the goal one more time, and you can see Firth doesn't open a shot for himself, but by dragging the defender up that high and then the screen, ton of room and space for Collison.
Well, like a lot of great players, I think Firth would rather pass than score. I think he's just fine with the assist, which is part of the reason why the Collison-Firth partnership has worked out really well. But I don't think he has any issues feeding the ball. And obviously he's pretty good at it. Those one-hand flip passes a lot harder than they look.
11 seconds to go here in the first period. I'll remind you, coming up at the intermission after our commercials, Nick Rose will join me as we talk about the new Northmen documentary. Dylan Sanderson down to Cam. Trey Deer gets it, shakes his man, turns back, and how did that stay out as it bounces away from trouble and down the floor? A healthy bounce at the end keeps the period perfect for the Toronto Beaches. My goodness.
This is an ankle breaker. Look out. Kaizek bails out his defender. Sick move by Trey Deer, just couldn't get it to go.
Looking to keep their perfect season alive. The Toronto Beach is up 3-0 on the Orangeville Northmen here. After one period of play, you're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week, powered by Gatorade. We'll be right back with the GM of the Northmen, Nick Rose.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
Get ready, Ottawa. Box lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
Please be joined now by the general manager of the Northmen, Nick Rose. Goaltender of the year as well. Just flip your microphone down there so people can hear you well. We're here to talk about the upcoming Orangeville Northmen documentary produced by Bumpy Road Productions. First off, Nick, what is your role in this project here?
Yeah, just with the Northmen alumni, I'm involved on that side of things too. Myself and Bruce Codd, after a lot of conversations, kind of decided to go through with this and basically hire on Bumpy Roads Productions to put together a documentary about the Northmen kind of story. We have a rich history, obviously, and a lot of good people that have come through. And we, after talking with Brucey, we just didn't want to wait any longer. Obviously, year after year, kind of keep losing people that were pretty important to the organization, and want those people's stories to be told through this documentary. And Bumpy Roads has been doing an amazing job.
That was going to be my question. You know, why now? I know Bumpy Road guys. They were on Back of the Bird maybe about a year ago now, talking about the product. You can go check that interview out with our friends there and producer Donnie putting all that together. But how important was it to not just have other people tell the stories, but those guys themselves? Like, I know Lindsay's part of it, but you know, that era of guys who can really take you back into time in that time period. Yeah,
you know what? Obviously, we wish we could have done this decades ago, even. But with Bumpy Roads, obviously with Jake Thompson, he's in a battle with ALS right now, and he's a former Northman. Both or all the Thompson brothers are, Zach, Riley, and him, and just kind of felt like they were doing some videos with Warrior, with the Courier brothers and stuff, and felt like a great thing that we could kind of collaborate on with some former Northmen and tell the story the right way.
So take us through the project. Where are we in the project? What's the next step? And after that, I think we'll talk about how the people at home can help out.
Yeah, I mean, like this has kind of been a 2-3 year process. It's kind of taken on a life of its own, to be honest with you. We didn't really plan for it to be as big as it will end up being. I would say we're about 95% done.
Okay.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot that goes into kind of the finalizing of everything and how we present that to people, and if we do kind of like a gala or whatever, maybe Galaxy Cinemas or something like that to kind of show off the documentary. But so we're kind of in that stage where trying to figure out all the final details. Obviously, really hoping to have this thing out either end of August or September. But obviously, we'll kind of see how the next few stages go. But they've done a great job. Me and Brucey have kind of got snippets along the way, and just how they've had to organize everything on their end has been. They've been doing lots of interviews with players, chopping up old game film and all that. So the amount of work they put into this has been amazing.
Yeah, we've been showing the people at home the trailer as well. Everything that I've heard is fantastic. The trailer looks fantastic. I know I can't wait to see this as well. One thing at the end of that is asking, how the public can support that. So how can the public support that?
Yeah, no, appreciate you asking that. Obviously, it is a community-funded project. The alumni, the juniors, the minors have all obviously supported it financially, but we're kind of at the end of the road with asking for donations and fundraising and stuff. So there's a couple more things we're kind of planning this summer, hopefully here at the arena, but for now, if anybody's able to make a donation, obviously that would be amazing. I just put on my Instagram for now. There's a link in my bio for the project, and then there's a donation page on there. I'm actually gonna raffle off a rock game jersey from this season. So anybody that
sticks involved.
Yeah,
in that as well?
I just threw that in as an extra. So
Okay.
the jersey is the main thing, and then I figured give people hopefully a little bit more value in their donation. I'll do a stick as well. Any way people can support is greatly appreciated, and we can't wait for everybody to see it.
And for my money, from probably the best I've ever seen you play this last rock season. Congratulations
I appreciate that.
on goaltender of the year. Before I let you go, 3-0 after the first. How do you guys turn it around?
Yeah, we got to obviously put the ball in the back of the net. They got a really good goalie, so we got to keep firing shots on him. Obviously, they're big guns, Collison and Firth. We can't let them get the open shots that they have been getting, but they're great players. They're gonna get theirs. So we just kind of got to crawl back into this game and keep it close heading into the third.
All right, appreciate your time, Rosie. Good luck with that. Good luck with the project.
Appreciate it.
And that is the Bumpy Road Orangeville documentary. Again, we're showing you the trailer. You can be sure you go over to his Instagram page. You can enter that raffle and just support the project. We're all excited to see the final outcome. But when we come back, your OJLL Game of the Week is the second period. Toronto Beaches are up 3-0 on the Orangeville Northmen here at Tony Rose Arena.
It's a way of preserving our history, tell the story, of the men and women that built the organization, the teams and the people that came after that to keep the tradition going.
It just felt like you were part of something bigger than yourself.
He's been there since '78 to see what it is now. Man.
Just the right place at the right time with the right people, and it created this aura around it, this culture.
It's Minto or bust. Makes me want to go out and play for another one.
Teams want to try to embarrass us, we'd kick the shit out of them.
It's impressive how many guys that have played in Orangeville are playing in the NLL, that are coaches, executives. There's a reason.
Welcome back to Tony Rose Arena. The headset back on Jonathan Donville after that first period where the Beaches lead 3-0. The Northmen Way is a documentary. I know you've worn the Northmen jersey. Just talk about playing in this arena, playing in this town, and I know you're excited for the doc as well.
Yeah, it's cool from a number of angles. You mentioned I played here, really kind of a singular experience here, unlike anywhere else. I had lucky to have two of those in Mimico as well, two unique places, and also just really happy to see more growth of the lacrosse media side of it too. People telling good stories, and I'm really excited for what's in store, and hopefully it sets the trend for more great storytelling about this game that all of our viewers love.
Best of luck to Bumpy Road. Again, 3-0 here. Beaches lead as they look to win their 8th straight game to start this season. Kazak now down in the net to our left. Spectacular in that first period. Zach Richards, I don't know that spectacular is the right word, but just solid, good goaltending on the Northman side. Stop me if you've heard that one before.
Yeah, he joins a long line of good goaltenders. Has been on this team for multiple years, studying behind Chris Riglieri, which is part of the reason why Orangeville has been so successful throughout the years, is the mentorship from one to the other. Also got a fight a couple years ago, had one of the best clips you'll ever see in junior lacrosse. So, he's been around this team for a while.
Aiden Long chopped down. He's going to draw the penalty call this time as he faced the double team off the opening possession. Richards already on the bench as it's working its way back. Matthews waiting it out. He'll go into the corner. Trey Deer back across the floor. Cam Sanderson looking for Deer and heads up. That one didn't miss Rusty Kruger by much. But it will be a Northman power play to start this period. And we're going to see a lot, I think, of Deer and Matthews here. And this is the period that the Northmen usually like to handle their business in this barn.
Yeah, this is the Dylan Watson period right off that gate. Looking to score. For folks who aren't aware of what we're talking about, the bench is unusually far down on the Orangeville side in this rink. More unusual than you'd see in other venues. Makes it really hard to get to that gate. Pretty much a straight line from that gate right across the crease.
Trey Deer has capitalized many times over his first couple seasons here. They go to Dylan Sanderson instead, and that one cleanly soaked by Caden Hewitt. Back down for Owen Wills, trying to find a trailer. And they just missed.
You can hear the sticks on the boards for Hewitt. Those are the ones that fire the boys up. Bunch of coaches coming down there to tell them good job too. Good eat. Don't rub it.
Caden Hewitt, Chris Harland. I mean, they are, you want to talk unsung players. Two guys that were on this Minto team as Collison shoots and bouncers again. Leads to plays like that in the offensive end.
Yeah, spot on. As a coach, you're always preaching to your team that those little plays lead to the big plays. After you get a tough hustle play by Hewitt soaking the shot, Collison gets one on the other end. Not the best shot he'll ever take, but because of that size, he can shrug off defenders and get the shots whenever he wants. Enough of them are going to go in.
Now Hewitt comes out to take the face-off. Doing so against Jake Spalina, who wins it. The Beaches bench saying he went early, but it's one right back to Cameron Pack.
Yeah, and this is obviously one you want if you're Orangeville here. You're down one goal on this power play. Obviously not how you draw it up. You got to find a way to get a good look here.
They go to Onofrio. Now Matthews backpedaling. Screen comes from Trey Deer. He's open up top, wants the shot. Not going to take it, gives to Onofrio. It's off the top of his stick and then off the glass. Long outside shot. Cam Sanderson trying to save the possession there and didn't get it through in time to beat the 30 clock. That's another stop here on this penalty kill for the Beaches.
Yeah, the key to that penalty kill was Wills at the top. He was basically the guy playing two. Really trying to shade towards Deer and then get back to Onofrio when the pass came. He got in Deer's hands enough, made that pass difficult, and got it going the other way. But 91 was the key on that one.
That's Owen Wills. Brother Isaac out there on the offensive side of things. And I know that Isaac is technically listed as an AP, but I'm going to call it now. Johnny Zamboni, print the name bars for these two guys.
I was just going to make the same point. We heard he's an AP. Looked very good at that first game. We saw them in St. Catharines, and obviously still up with the big team.
Back and forth across crease. Kazek, are you kidding me? This is even better than his one in the first period.
That was sick. Hard to tell if it hit the post or got the save, but Orangeville's got to be wondering what they got to do to get something by him.
Dylan Sanderson getting it back to Garen Jennings. Sanderson to Matthews. Ducks. Turns, fires low, and kept in front as he dove backwards.
First really good look we've seen, or one of the first good looks we've seen for Matthews. We highlighted him at the top of the show, one of the leading scorers for this Orangeville team, a guy who's played here for a long time. That's a good sign for Orangeville. He's getting looks, even if they don't go in.
Over the top, Palmer elects not to shoot, gives it off to Firth. Round the screen of Collison. Now Palmer will rip, and it's through Richards and in. And that one's going to signal a goalie change. Lyndon Hill going to come in, and this has been the issue for Orangeville in goal this season. We get another look at the replay.
Yeah, obviously one Richards probably wants back a little bit far out, but a seeing eye shot by Palmer. And like we mentioned, Palmer's been outstanding this year. Don't be surprised, especially in junior, Maddie, don't be surprised to see Richards back in there in a few minutes. It's not uncommon at all to take a guy out, just let him kind of reset his brain for a little bit. I can see on the bench he's not taking his gear off yet, so I wonder if that's the message from Coach Kruger. Just take a deep breath, and you're going back in pretty soon.
That was the case earlier today. Couple back and forth goalie changes in KW as they tied Burlington 10-10. This one will be called for early movement from Owen Ron. And that is, I don't want to call it a back-breaking goal because we've still got 36 minutes of lacrosse, but as Firth takes the shot, Hill makes his first save of the game. Rebound going to bounce all the way down to Kazak.
What a play.
Who takes care of it, but I mean, on the power play, couple plays, goaltender at the other end is making spectacular saves, and then an easy one gets through your goaltender.
Yeah, what a save there by Hill, though. Credit to him. Not an easy thing to do coming off cold. You don't get any warm-up as the backup goalie here. So credit to him. Two good saves there, one on Firth and then one on the cross crease.
Over the line, Peterkin. Ron had him in his sights, but Peterkin looking for McPherson. Bounces wide.
One thing we've seen, Maddie, from Beaches and Mimico, the two top teams, very good on the forecheck or the ride. A little bit of a different style. Mimico's got those big bodies like Dudeman and Waters who can really hold you up, whereas Beaches does it with kind of tenacity and also a lot of really good wrap checks and takeaway checks. But either way, both of them cause a lot of turnovers.
Dylan Sanderson left all alone on the crease. Matthews found him. Cam Sanderson tripped up on his way to the bench. This is now Wills finding a man off the bench, and they score again. Liam Aston, hot streak continues.
You could hear throughout the building the Beaches bench yelling, "Get here," meaning for their defensive players, get to the back door so they can get somebody out. Starts with a good save, a good closeout there, actually by Firth on defense, causing the turnover. Then they're up and out. Good hustle to the back gate. Ashton comes out the front. It's exactly how you draw it up for the Beach.
They've had a lot of those tonight. Exactly how you draw it up type plays, as they now lead 6-0.
Well, it also highlights the challenge going forward for Orangeville in this game. Obviously, when you haven't scored yet, one of the first things you think of is can we start to increase the tempo of this game, try to get looks in transition? But this is such a good Beaches team who's really good at running and gunning. You're kind of playing into their style, so it's a rock and hard place for the Northmen.
It's a great point. Here's Ewan McKay. His shot bounces off hill, goes out to the far corner. McKay will pick it back up again.
This is what's killing the Northmen right now, is just too many extra possessions for Beaches. We just haven't seen Orangeville play that much offense here. You got to find a way to get these resets, eliminate the turnovers on the clear, and just play more offense, get more lottery tickets at Kaizek.
And I don't know when the last time Trey Deer left the floor was. He's been back on 2 straight defensive possessions, with Palmer taking this shot and it gets caught up in Hill. Deer finally does go off for a change as Aiden Long brought it across center.
Another off-ball slash here, off-ball cross-check penalty coming to Beaches.
Wow, Hill is in full sprint to get to the bench. Gets there with 10 on the shot clock. Sanderson, Matthews hard rip, and Kaizek puts the glove out to make sure there's no extra chance. Hill will go back to the net as we get the penalty call and a wipe down from the Orangeville Minor Lacrosse Association.
Getting the towel out this time. We had the Swiffer WestJet last time, going with the old school towel here.
Oh yeah, they know what they're doing here in this building. Right tool for the right job.
I think the penalty happened before this as we watched the replay. Just another off-ball cross-check against Beaches.
I believe it was Hunter Lubinecki that went off.
T-shirt toss going on in the building.
Get ready, Donnie. Oh, not far enough. Thought we were getting one. Trey Deer up top.
So watch Wills on the top of this power play. He really wants to guard Trey Deer, and he's going to be splitting too. But his activity, his ability to make it disruptive is going to be really important.
Comes back to Dylan Sanderson. Deer makes his way to the crease, and the entire box collapses right on top of him, allowing Orangeville to pick up the loose ball. Matthews works around his screen. Sidearm shot bouncing in the crease. Kaizek wants to push as Wills is down floor, but took a defender with him. It's Dylan Sanderson who's going to be caught on defense here.
Good set, though, for Orangeville. A couple pretty good looks there. You know, if they're not going in, they're not going in. There's not a whole lot you can do. You just got to keep shooting. But Matthews had a couple good looks in a row now. It's going to fall for him.
Ball bounces back to Nikolic. Oh, racing in that shot off the post. All the way back down to Dylan Sanderson. Now it's Willem Firth who's out on D. Sanderson will slow things down with almost at 6 minutes on their penalty, but just under 1 minute on their penalty. Liam Matthews working it through Onofrio. And the near crease. Now up top, Trey Deer wants to shoot. I think that's the first time we've seen him shoot tonight. Same result as everyone before it, though, as Kaizek makes the save. Cole Teeple back to the crease. Pass was a little high from Max Kruger. And Deer still managed to get it on net, but perhaps not his best look that he wanted.
Pretty good look through by Kruger there. Again, the midget call-up in this game, playing his first Junior A game. Pretty good look to the backside.
Firth keeping it to the outside. The wave of names that have been on the backs of jerseys for many years continues as rushing through there, the sidearm shot doesn't hit the mark. And Sean Costigan. There's a couple Cordingleys in the pipeline as well, playing Junior B. If you're wondering when the next batch will come, there it is. Vincent Orfrio breaks the deadlock with 9 minutes gone here in the period.
Breaks the deadlock, and you can hear a sigh of relief for Orangeville just to be breaking that shutout streak. A good pick by Sanderson. Beaches just not quite set into their defense. Don't get out on the ball, no ball pressure. And like we've been saying all summer, if you have your hands in your eyes as a shooter, that's when you're dangerous. Onofrio steps into it. A nice little sidearm to the short side as we see Richards coming back in. Kind of how I thought it might go here. Good reset. They get it back, to 5 goals here. Richards going to have to shut the door, no doubt about it.
So 6-1, Spallino with the face-off win. Gets it back to Aiden Long. Donnie Scott pushes down the boards to Deere.
Only one righty on the floor here for Orangeville.
Shot comes from Deere, and it's wide and off the end boards. I don't think they're going to appreciate that effort. As you said, a decent look for the left side.
Yeah, typically when you get the 1 and 4, you want to get the ball to the isolated side. The one-man side is looks like another off-ball penalty here.
I think all of them have been off-ball tonight. And we've had a few of them. Here's Willem Firth.
Someone's got to be wide open.
They'll shovel it back up to Collison. They let it just sail right through the middle of that set and bounce in on goal.
I don't know what. I think Aston was getting ready to set a pick. He was wide open. And I think he thought the ball was going to someone behind him. He let the ball go. I think intentionally let the ball go through. He thought someone was behind him. He was wide open in the middle of the floor.
I mean, his name's not Firth, Collison, or Palmer. Why would it go to him?
he's you got to stay ready with those guys. So again, on the penalty kill here, a little bit different. Donnie Scott, number 23, is playing the low right spot for Orangeville. The top 2 guys for Orangeville are going to really shade heavily to Collison and Firth. It's Scott who's got the decision to make about sliding up to Palmer or staying on the backside guy.
Collison and Palmer did have a conversation before this play started. Firth will go up top to the big man now. Firth cross floor, back to McPherson on the crease. Had to tap dance a little bit to bring it down, but it bounces off of Richards and to Long. Those are 2 big boys. Works through coverage and scores. Aiden Long.
A great defensive possession by Orangeville to scramble at the end, get to McPherson, goes the other way. You see a great play here just to finish the possession by Orangeville. It looks like Richards gets a save, and then they're off and running. Long for a big guy can really move. Collison goes for the ice pick check, gets a penalty anyways, and then midair, Long gets it. And, lacrosse is a fickle game, Maddie. Sometimes it can turn on its head pretty quickly. I mentioned the sigh of relief when they got that first one. Now you've gotten 2 in a row, and now you got some momentum. And by the way, a nice home crowd here, as we've seen all summer long at Tony Rose. That starts to become more of a factor. The more you can obviously start scoring.
Look at Jake Spallina there, who's been pretty good at the face-off dot. The officials in conversation with Rusty Kruger out the home bench. As we said, his brother Joey not in the lineup tonight. As we did get another wipe down. That was, I said, fought through coverage to Aiden Long. Nearly decapitated by Collison. And to fight through that and keep going, those are 2 big boys. That took it down floor, and Aiden Long gets the best of it.
So Beaches is still on the power play here.
Minute 25 remaining in that as we pass the halfway mark of regulation time.
I'm looking for Firth to be a shooter here. They scored 1 like that. Just let it fly.
Palmer's going to set the screen. Doesn't take the shot. Back to Collison. McPherson on the crease, working it through. Firth now backs up, takes center spot, and just kind of a nonchalant release. That was, deceptive, I guess is the word for it, but didn't look like it came from anywhere.
Obviously, Firth gets compared to Jeff Teed a lot, especially at school when he's wearing the 51. Looks exactly like Jeff in the field game. The only guy I really seen shoot that shot with success is Teeter in the winter. You see that kind of backpedal, shot out of nowhere all the time from Jeff Teed. Very similar there from Firth. I don't think that's a coincidence. He's a guy who's probably studied his game a lot. Pretty sick shot, nice save by Richards.
Look out here, Onofrio kind of stood in the way of Lubinecki a little bit. He took exception on that change, but Both of them go their separate ways. Beach is still on this power play. It's down in the corner. Firth a long way from home, and they call a moving screen as Long got blown up by Palmer. Wasn't sure I'd say that here tonight. Here's Collison working around Elijah Edwards after stealing the ball. Collison to the outside boards. Penalty about to expire.
Obviously, he earned an extra possession for his team, but Collison might have saved a goal there. Orangeville was off to the races.
Collison will rip with no pack right in his face. Cameron Pack, excuse me. Trade deadline acquisition last year. Here's Max Kruger. He'll bring it up to Matthews. Deer rolls to the crease. Matthews kept it, shot from a bad angle, and Kazakh still with it, although Deer is trying to pull it out from the crease, and they call him for covering up.
I think they called a handball, if I'm not mistaken.
Either way, Orangeville going to get it back, just as it looked like Beaches had controlled that possession.
Yeah, and it was the hustle of Deer that made it happen, regardless of what the call was.
Matthews. Stutter step, Cam Sanderson on the crease, lost it. Deer couldn't bring it down in behind the net. Now it'll be restarted by the Beaches, who lead 6-2. Although the last 2 goals come off the stick of the Northmen. First from the outside.
Got Sanderson stuck on defense here. Right here, this is the matchup if your Beaches with no guy stuck.
Great recognition by Firth as it wheels back to Aston. He turns and shoots. Richard there to make the save, and he'll give it right to Sanderson, who puts it in the stick of Firth. All alone, scores! There may not be a worse player in the league to give it to wide open like that.
And how many times have we seen this? We saw basically the same goal in St. Catharines. He really has a knack for pulling this off. I mean, this is what great players do. This is sick. There's no other way to say it. Sanderson actually had a good defensive possession. Goes for the floater. Firth gets it right at the top of his jump. Fake, fake, fake. Over Richards. The old triple deke there from Mighty Ducks. That's obviously a tough one for Orangeville. You finally got some momentum going in this game. You survive an advantage Beaches possession with the O guy there, and then you still get scored on after. You know, that's a killer.
Turning back was Long, who got filled in. This is going to draw a crowd as Pack comes in. He wants a piece of his man. More action over towards the bench. Owen Ron with his men now. A full handful from Connor Knock. With Trey Deer, we got gear and everything down, and Deer's not going to sign the dance card. At least not yet. Here's another look at how all this started with the big hit on Aiden Long. It's a frustrating night here at home for the Orangeville Northmen.
Well, Deer can fight, by the way, so it's not like, you know, anything he's not okay with, but I think just a time score situation there. They know He knows that he needs to stay in the game for his team and score goals.
Well, and again, I mean, there's a big offensive piece missing back on the other end of the floor tonight in Joey Spallina. So despite the fact that Trey Deer not really on the score sheet tonight,
yeah,
he can explode at any time.
No doubt. It looks like we got 2 Beaches players in the penalty box, so it looks like we'll get the extra penalty going the way of Beaches. I think by how I saw it, that seems right. I think probably that first hit on Long should have been a penalty, you know, if not some part of that scrum, and then obviously Deer and the Beaches player are going to get their penalties as well. But it looks like Beaches will be down a man out of this. We'll see what the call is, though.
(7-2), 7 minutes remaining in this second period. Out of town, Six Nations up 7-5 on St. Catharines, who won their first game. Said earlier that Mimico was undefeated 7-6. That was last night's score. They're playing Peterborough tonight and down 6-2 in the second. So apologize for the earlier score as the app updates. Mind you can download the OJLL app from your favorite app store. And of course, subscribe here to this channel where we'll be live all season long with your OJLL games of the week. Couple more coming your way this week. Five minutes for roughing. This clock has had a mind of its own tonight, so God bless the clock operator. Trying to figure out what happens here with 3 Beaches players in the box.
Beaches penalty to number 6 on a knock, 5 minutes for roughing, and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of penalties 7:05. Knock, 5 minutes for roughing, and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct at 7:05.
Trade Deer 5 for roughing, knock 5 for roughing. And I heard another 2. Caden Hewitt listed twice for cross-checking.
So I think the extra 2 is going to get served by somebody else. That's why we have 3 guys in the box. 5 on 3 for Orangeville here with no Trade Deer. So, you got to keep that in mind as well.
Well, it's going to be the Sanderson right side with Dylan and Cam. Cam on the crease. Gary Jennings has had a strong first OJLL season. Started off with a number of goals. One of those key players early on. Has now 5 goals in the season. He scored a hat trick, 3 assists. Hasn't scored in 3 games, but did put up 3 assists in the game against St. Catharines, the 14-8 win for Orangeville. But came out of the gates with 2 goals, and 2 points with 1 goal before all the regular suspects came back. So this could be a good spot for Garen Jennings, the rookie wearing number 44 on the crease. And then, of course, Liam Matthews, and it will start with Vincent Orfrio.
We'll see if Onofrio actually joins the play here. Typically, you just leave your 5th guy at the top.
Yeah, looks
he's
like
going to jump in.
Runs past the restraining line, so up to Dylan Sanderson. Someone's yelling shoot. It sounds like it's from the Toronto bench, though. And Matthews got it in on Kazak. A couple bounces that just went out of the crease.
Pretty good look for Orangeville, although you probably want to get some sort of cross crease pass on a 4-on-3. Obviously, really an advantage. Try to get an easy goal, but Matthews one-on-one with Kazak. You'll take that. Orangeville's got to be careful here, by the way. If Wills gets out of this, there's no one behind their guys.
I think Onofrio realizes that, and he's going to come back, and Will's got enough of an arm free to just launch it down into the corner at the tail end of the shot clock. Here's Onofrio. Back across center, big collision through the middle as Cam Sanderson took to the floor. David Peterkin into him. Matthews, Onofrio. They go back to Matthews. No shot yet. Cross crease a couple times, and Cam Sanderson hard after his man defensively. Those 2 got tied up. Meanwhile, ball down floor. Owen Wills gets it again.
Yeah, better look that time looking for the cross crease. They actually had it left side, right side, back to the left side, but a good play, I think, by Peterkin at the end of it to get back and take away the advantage there for Orangeville.
Firth, Palmer, and Collison, the 3. As you would expect for Beaches, Collison. There was a little bit of a gap just by the left knee, and he did not miss it by much.
Nope, he did not. We had a good angle of that one. That one almost snuck in.
Dylan Sanderson with it. 3 lefties now. Hard shot there. That one bounces wide out of the stick of Sean Costigan. Up top, Matthews around his back. They go back down to the crease where Jennings gets stuffed. Now Dylan Sanderson battling for it. Jennings as well as the penalty box door opens and 2 Beaches players come out.
So now we're even here.
So just the 5 minutes left to serve. Have to serve the entire 5. Do Deer and knock. Dylan Sanderson with the shot, an easy one that Kaiser saves. Kaiser, Firth, and a bunch of others from Nepean, where we'll be Canada Day weekend.
That's a huge penalty kill, by the way. 5-on-3, huge moment in this game for Beaches to survive. That's really, really important.
Liam Aston bounces off a couple defenders, ran through the crease, can't touch it. Does anyways, and Pack goes and gives him a hard shot.
Good stand by Max Kruger there. Rookie, as we've been talking about throughout the game. An offensive player getting back on defense, making a good stop.
Max Kruger stays on the floor. Here's an Orfrio ducking past the defense of Broughton. Kaiser climbs the ladder to bring the shot down, and then his follow through hit a player. Bounces right back to Orangeville. They'll get a fresh 30, but they're down by 5 with under 4 to go in the second. Low shot, Matthews, big rebound over the shoulder, scores!
A great shot here by our camera crew, seeing Matthews getting fired up after this goal. I've been talking about good looks. That's his kind of patented underhand shot, gets the rebound. That's sick, right behind the back, right to the pipe. Those are the kind of efforts it's going to take to beat a strong goaltender for Beaches. And that's really a good sign for Orangeville. Matthews to get going. If they're going to come back in this game, it's probably going to be on his stick, on Trey Deer's stick. 2 of their veteran guys, 21-year-old players.
I was going to comment earlier in the game that Kaiser hasn't been giving up a lot of rebounds. It's either cleanly grabbed or he jumps on it before it leaves the crease. Remember, here in OJLL, you can't reach in to grab it.
And by the way, that goal came off a failed clear by Beaches. And how many times have we seen that? There's obvious ones like the one that Willem Firth scored.
Yes.
But how many times throughout the summer have we seen on the ensuing possession a goal goes in? They're just really important plays.
Kruger into the corner. Same can be said for just resets of the shot clock. Another penalty coming. Kruger gets the shot. That hits off a body in front. Picked up by Jennings. Cam Sanderson got knocked down, and he goes back after Peterkin. Got to watch it here, going man up. Wojnarski coming over for a word. It's getting spicy in the Bunny Barn.
We'll see who the penalty's on, but this was another off-ball play. There's still a bunch of chatting going on here. This was another off-ball slash on Beaches, and they're lucky they didn't get more than one. Peterkin blew up a pick at the end of that play, and probably people have gotten penalized for less, for sure. If you're Orangeville, you got to find some solutions here on the power play here. This is the kind of how you draw it up to get back in the game. Power play looks, you got to find something that really works.
Good look at Kaiser there, and just for his numbers, a .690 goals against average. That would rank him first amongst qualified goaltenders in the league. Save percentage of .844. Actually behind Linden Hills, .858 amongst qualified goalies. As well as Sugga Thompson as well, an .879, but Sugga's been facing 60, 70 shots a night. That's
right.
Unreal.
Got O'Toole and Brampton, too. A lot of good goaltenders this year.
Yes. Onofrio. Quick stick down towards the crease. You know what? I'll even throw Cole Gervais' name in there. Peterborough picking up their first win of the season, but he was part of that big trade that brought Deacon Knott to Burlington, helping them win a Minto last year, and Gervais settling in Peterborough despite the record. McPherson. Cross floor, another two-man advantage here for Orangeville. Look at the pass there. Oh, McPherson I'm saying it's on purpose, Donnie.
I kind of had a feeling Firth was going to score throughout this possession. You could kind of just see him getting open here, and he's just waiting here to roll for a pass. Ends up McPherson tries to shoot it. I'm not buying what you're trying to sell me there, but Firth just rolls off so slippery. And that's what makes the great players great, Matty. They just seem to be in the right place at the right time all the time. And if you're Orangeville, you got to be frustrated because you've done a nice job on Firth all night. You give him a free breakaway on the penalty kill there, or on the last goal, and then you give him basically another free one at the end of a shot clock, again on the power play too. That's at least 2 shorties for Beaches. I think 3 maybe actually. Just not how you draw it up.
I've got Firth for his hat trick and 5 points. Again, quietly putting up those numbers. Here's Kruger. Cross for Jennings. Quick pass. It came back for Onofrio. Actually hit a body in front, I believe, and rolled dangerously through the crease.
Yeah, great set, though, for the Northmen. Cross crease passes, get a look right in the middle of the defense. That's all you can ask for. You know, Kaisek's really good.
Harlan across, Hewitt. Pass it back, Collison, a long way from home. Owen Wills being worked over by Liam Matthews in front of the crease. Collison shoots from a bad angle. Richards will make the save, but the rebound goes up out of play. We got nose to nose between Owen Wills and Liam Matthews. Fresh 30 seconds here.
These is where Collison scares you, I think, if you're Orangeville. He's so big. If he gets going downhill, it doesn't matter if there's extra players. Look for him to get the ball late in this possession, try to get to the goal.
They just switched and put Cameron Pack on him as you were saying that. This will be Isaac Wills. Up for Collison, who waits for the penalty to expire and now goes to the far side, and Liam Matthews gets blown up in front of the play, and it'll be Northman ball.
Yeah, Matthews looking for a penalty call. I sort of see his point, especially as some of the defensive stuff we've seen called tonight, a pretty hard pick in the back there. And if you've never played box lacrosse, that hurts.
Kruger down into the corner. Long will take the shot, bouncing in between the legs of Kazak, finally picks it up. And we'll give it here to Owen Wills. Inside the final minute, 33 seconds, Riley O'Connor wants to talk it over.
Some confusion here on the shot clock, so we'll see how much time they get. But either way, it will be less on the shot clock than there is on the game clock, so this will not be a 6-on-5 scenario. But a use it or lose it timeout there for Coach O'Connor. You only get 2 in a game, and you can't take 2 in the same period. So Beaches didn't take their timeout in the first period, so an obvious time to take it now. Get something drawn up here at the end of the period.
Rusty Kruger took one in the first, so looks by all accounts that they are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, Orangeville's got to slam the door here. You can't go in, lose the momentum, all the momentum from that period. You know, you've already lost a good deal of it. You have to get a stop here. Not to mention, if they're going to come back with the way this Beach's defense is playing, you know, they really have to slam the door at 8 or 9.
Well, and I think get the ball back and then set something up and get another one, because you can go into the locker room on a positive attitude. That's a 4-goal deficit. But if you come out of the third looking up at a 9 spot, with especially the way the Kazak's played this season and tonight, that is a big deficit.
Yeah, no doubt.
So just for mental reasons, I think Orangeville not just looking for stop, but they want goal as well. Hamish McPherson. No sense of urgency now as Collison has it outside.
Well, now they got the shot clock.
Yeah, I think the count's down on the floor with the official, though. They reset it when the play started, excuse me. Liam Aston, here comes the play now as they want to put it into the corner. Palmer, back to Aston. On the crease was Firth, and that'll be the shot clock violation with 8.1 to go. Kruger's not going to use his timeout. Richards is going to stay in the net as well. Ron, long shot. Cam Sanderson scores.
Yeah, tough balance for Beaches there because there was some confusion with the shot clock, but I think, they just didn't quite get in quickly enough here, and that's exactly what we needed to see for the Northmen. Now going in 4 goals down with all the positive momentum, that's basically the dream end scenario there. And, I think Coach Kruger didn't take his timeout because he already used one, want to save one for the third period. But we did have this conversation last time, Maddie, about the chaos in the period. Sometimes I think it favors the offense. That would be a good example where the helter-skelter is good for the offense.
Peterkin wanted one of his own, and it was blocked. He apologizes to Elijah Edwards, but Northmen still in this one after 2 periods. 8-4 your score. Toronto Beaches lead as they've done the entire way. You're watching the game of the week here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, and it's fueled by Gatorade.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Get
Get ready, Ottawa. Box lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Teams are back on the floor, ready for the third period here on your OJLL Game of the Week. An 8-4 lead for the Toronto Beaches, who look to remain perfect. Signs of life, however, Jonathan, in that second period for the Orangeville Northmen.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge goal by Sanderson at the end. Just in the intermission, walking around here, Maddie saw, so many great former Northmen players and current coaches. Josh Sanderson's here watching his kids play. Brody Merrill here. Just an example of kind of the institutional knowledge that comes through this Northmen Association. High quality NLL coaches all throughout their minor program, and it leads obviously into the junior A program, which is kind of cool seeing so many legendary players always back here.
Like Jonathan Donville?
No,
okay.
no, like way better.
Yeah. No, I know and understand what you're talking about, but I've also seen you work this room, so. MVP of a Minto Cup. I mean, you get to be pretty special when you come back to the barn. Beaches win this possession. He hates me now, by the way.
Yeah, you can do the rest of this call by yourself.
Collison outside.
This is a set play for Firth here.
Well, long way from him, although it's cutting through there. Palmer couldn't find the cutter. Booth picks it up, but right at the shot clock.
Yeah, that's a pick-to-picker action there for Firth that, most teams run. Every NLL team runs it. One of the best plays in the game, and just couldn't quite complete the pass, but I think he was going to be open.
You can hear Riley O'Connor yelling them to start that play and hustle it. Obviously an offensive player himself, so I'm sure he's run the same one in his playbook. Here's Liam Matthews cutting to the net. Isaac went high, ball went low, ended up in the corner.
Speaking of legendary players, Riley O'Connor, a multiple-time Minto Cup champion.
Oh, yeah.
Really one of the best, junior lacrosse players of his era. One of the best, my favorite junior lacrosse players growing up. He was at a good age time for me where I was really watching a lot of junior A lacrosse. His ability to pass the ball, to guys like Dan Littner was really legendary, and those Whippy teams were some of the best teams we've seen in recent memory. There's, groups with Mark Matthews and so many great players, and then I think Riley was younger on those teams when he was running the show there with Ryan Keenan, Dan Littner, Curtis Knight,
yeah.
the Hossack brothers, one of the best junior A groups we've seen in a long time.
Here's Garen Jennings, stumbled as he fell, went off Kizak, and Jennings gets up with a bit of a limp in the step, although will stay out there. Back for Sanderson. This is Dylan Sanderson. We'll find Trey Deer, who spent a majority of the back part of that second period, in the penalty box, served a 5-minute major, and now gets called for the over and back. We were just getting started broadcasting games when Whitby was really good, Orangeville was really good, Six Nations were really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, those were the Johnny Paulus, all the Stotts, Jameson, so on, and Beach is really good right now.
Yeah, we could get back to that era in a second, but a nice finish here from Beaches. Gonna have to see the replay here. I missed how they got so wide open, but either way, a dunk right on top of the crease. Just a good up pick by Aston. Firth throws it in. He's not gonna miss guys normally, especially when they're wide open. Not a whole lot Richards can do about that, and Aston's been really sharp here throughout this game.
No assists in as of yet, but if Firth gets one, that'll be 6 points tonight in this game already. I mean, came in on above an 8 per game average, and he's knocking on the door of that here again.
Another off-ball penalty here. Sanderson looks hurt.
Bouncing around through the middle of this set. They go to Cole Teeple. Now Deer, big high step shot from outside. Hits the end boards and will go for an over and back. I remember doing the Ontario final here in this building between the Arrows and the Northmen, and it was, I mean, every player gave everything they could in that deciding game. And, you know, those battles were intense for sure.
I think the best lacrosse, junior lacrosse I've ever seen was those Orangeville Six Nations battles in this building, or the Six Nations Whippy battles
at the ILA.
At the ILA, and then also, in Whippy there. There's one year I was lucky to be, playing Team Ontario, so we were there for the whole week while the Six Nations Whippy series was on. So there's kind of some, we just went to a lot of the games, and so many great players. Randy Stats, Johnny Powlis, Cadeau Hill, so many good players for Six Nations, and then Whippy was so good. Chad Tutton, the Hossack brothers, like I said, defensively, Bouquet and Higgins in the goal. And those teams, Maddie, they hated each other, which just made it so much better.
Peterkin tripped up on the breakout, and Trey Deer is going to go to the box again. Just an unfortunate tangle here. Garen Jennings is actually going to be the guilty one. It was the two of them that got tangled up, and maybe a break for the Northmen as it keeps Trey Deer in the game. Yeah,
Peterkin has played a really outstanding game. Picks off the pass there. A bad bounce for Orangeville because, they really need the power play time. A lot of room for Collison here.
Yeah, I was just going to say first to Collison. Palmer took top spot there for a second. Now gives way. On the near side, behind the back. Intended for Palmer, knocked down. And Owen Ron comes out.
Yeah, good try by A.J. Nikoluk there. And then he hustles back. You can hear the sticks on the boards. Goes for the behind-the-back pass. Pretty good look. Just not quite able to complete it.
Well, that could be one of those players looking for floor time too, right? Like, that's not a name that we call very often and wants to have his name up there with those big boys.
100%. And also, like we talked about with Ryan Steins on Mimico,
yes,
it's going to take these American guys a little bit. You got to learn to play the game. It's a tough league to come into. He'll be just fine. He's big physically, which is something that's going to really help him. But yeah, he's probably not getting as much floor time now as he will later in the summer. But as we mentioned, Coach O'Connor and his staff, some of the best coaches in the country at the junior level, they're the right guys to teach you how to play.
Isaac Wills just missed that pass as he was cutting through. We are 4-on-4 for another 40 seconds here. As racing in Cole Teeple staggers Kazak. Ends up down in the crease a lot for a goaltender, which is kind of rare for lacrosse goalies, but I guess as long as they stay on the correct side of the line, it works.
Well, he's a little bit like some of these goalies in the NHL, basically the modern wave of goalies, guys who are tall, 6'3", and they play in the butterfly, really take away the bottom of the net. It's slightly unusual for a guy who's that big as he is to kind of play that style, but it's a testament to his athleticism.
Collison loaded up, took a hard shot, and it bounces off Richardson out of play as Toronto's penalty expires. On the power play, I was going to say 10 seconds, but Firth makes it only a couple. And then a late takedown and another penalty coming here as Isaac Wills got sent to the floor after the goal.
I think maybe a little bit of embellishment on the penalty at the end. We'll leave it at that, but just sitting back a little bit too much. And I mentioned, Firth trying to be aggressive on the power play. That's that over-the-top shot he likes. That one was a little bit more of a twister, actually, and pushes it to the far side. But when he gets a good look, it's going to be tough. And then another off-ball, kind of away from the play penalty after the goal. So another power play for Beaches. Look for Firth to keep shooting. He's got the range. Just keep letting him fly.
And Beaches have now hit double digits. Whereas the Northmen in wins, 11, 14, 14, and 14 goals. However, in their losses, just 6 goals for each of them.
Yeah, this game's sort of similar to the Mimico game, which ended as an 8-6 score.
There's another one, number 5 for the Northmen. shorthanded.
You know, as a defender, you're always taught to keep a relationship between the ball and your man. Have eyes on the ball, have eyes on your man. And this is an example why. Petterkin, just looking at Trey Deer when the ball is coming, he has no idea. In field lacrosse, you might get a check call or something like that. He doesn't know the ball is coming. Also, Deer's just in a good spot. We've seen him have a knack for those cross-crease quick sticks. Some of the quicker hands you're going to see this summer.
And maybe that's the one that gets Deer going, although Toronto wins the face-off.
And another shorthanded goal in this game. I think we've seen 4 of them now. And obviously, there's the one by Long on the breakaway, but a number of them in the settled set.
Firth from the corner. Collison shoots and scores.
So this is great play design by Riley O'Connor. They run this play for Firth all the time where Palmer's going to set the pick for Firth to come around it. You'll see Palmer go right through here to Collison's man. So it all looks the same until the end, sets the pick. Not actually the most effective pick in the world because Collison's kind of way back, but it doesn't matter. He's got time to step into it. He can shoot it as hard and as well as anyone in the country.
Got him for 7 points and 4 goals tonight.
I think that's, sorry, Matty.
Same stat line for Willem Firth is what I was going to say, but I think they gypped him one officially. Go ahead.
I think what the really good coaches do is they make things look almost the same and then different, right?
Yeah.
So it's you hear people talk about it in football where out of every formation we want a run, a pass, a screen, and something else. I think the good lacrosse coaches do that too. They make stuff look the same until the last second. That's a good example. They do that play for Firth all the time, and he's so dangerous. You really have to get out, and then Palmer can just go right through to Collison's guy.
Ron pushes this face-off forward, down into Beach's end. That's where Liam Matthews picks up. And just enough to get the defense thinking. Maybe it frees their feet a little bit. Just with a different look. Yeah.
Got McPherson stuck on defense. Does a pretty good job hanging in, though.
Ball ends up being stripped by Connor Knock. Penalty boxes are empty, at least for the time being. Let's try and keep it that way.
Matty, you made fun of me last game for talking about my former coaches, but McPherson getting stuck on defense there. As you mentioned, as he now goes to make a good pass. As we mentioned, plays his college ball at the University of Maryland. I was lucky to play for Coach Tillman as well. The offensive players play a ton of defense in practice. It can actually be frustrating at times for guys who like to score goals. So McPherson got a lot of reps back there. Does a good job. Get that stick horizontal, get on the cross track, he'll be just fine.
Kruger, Jennings. Back here for Matthews. Matthews steps around the screen and shoots. Kajzak with the save. Penalty here to Harlan. I didn't see too much there. They're going to call for a hold. But I wasn't too sure about this one.
Good save, though, by Kajzak. He was sitting way back. It didn't look like he really saw it. Kind of fights it off.
I guess it's on the arm, yeah.
Matthews had, was really close to picking that corner. See a number of different looks for Orangeville. See Max Kruger out there now on the shooter spot, just looking for something that works.
This is Matthews. The shot, Kruger, that was bouncing back towards the open cage. And little pirouette move from Kajzak, putting the stick across the line, and that's another highlight reel save, adding to a long list of them he's made tonight.
And back to my point about the power play, different look, that's something that Coach Kruger is very comfortable with. When I played for him in 2019, we would have a different power play all the time. Most teams kind of use the same formation. He was never afraid to really mix it up. Obviously, you want your players in the spots where they're best, but I think you gain some as well from the defense, not knowing exactly what the look will be.
Cole Teeple did an excellent job of working over Collison on the crease there, as that pass was intended to go down there. Him and Elijah Edwards looking after the big man down on the crease. Still trailing by 6, though, are the Orangeville Northmen.
Maybe not a must score here, but pretty close.
Yeah, we're getting near that point in the game. Kruger had a shot, didn't take it. Deer does and finds the post. Kruger chasing down the loose ball. Looked like he had it and went over and back. They're not going to call it. Here's Deer to Matthews. Low shot. And Kazak down and over top. And then it bounces into the stick of Garen Jennings.
Tough bounce pass there from the goaltender. Those are tough to handle.
Onofrio ahead of steam coming off the bench. Puts the wrap check on Connor Knock. Didn't quite get it to center, but it bounces back to the Northmen. And this will be their 3rd straight possession here on this trip down the floor.
Tired defense, tired goalie here. This is a dangerous spot for Beaches.
It'll be Cam Sanderson taking top spot, elects to shoot. Man fresh out of the box comes in, brings the ball down. 11-5, Beaches have been up the entire game. It was 6-0 at one point, however. So 5-5 since then. But much like the game in Peterborough, they took off early and just never able to give that lead back. Palmer down in the corner, 5 on the clock. The east-west passing works to perfection again.
Yeah, great feed here from Booth. But this play actually starts with Wills on the backside. You're going to see him come up right here. He's going to follow Firth up, set a good hard up pick. That leaves, I think, Donnie Scott with a decision to make. Looks, not sure whether to take Wills or Firth, and then Firth just hustled down the backside. Those ones are tough if you're Firth because you're not open until the last second. So you got to trust the play, hustle down the backside, and then Booth hits him in stride and a nice quick stick.
Almost had to pay for trademarks. Spalina wins it back to Nate Ruff, whose name we haven't called a whole ton here, not just tonight, but this season. But Ruff, a runner-up for Transition Player of the Year last year.
And on that note, Beach has done a great job in defensive transition. Long had the power or the short-handed goal on the breakaway. But other than that, I don't think Orangeville's gotten anything going in transition.
Palmer's got 5 points now with 4 assists on the 5th goal of the night for Willem Firth. Here's Matthews. Up top, Kruger. Playing it back to Onofrio. He was all tied up, so he gives to Aiden Long, who has a goal in this game, though it came in transition. That one shot wide. And it bounces over and back.
I tell you, I don't think he's on the score sheet yet, but Max Kruger has looked just fine out there as the midget call-up, and he's part of a legendary under-17 group in Orangeville that's been coming up for many years. I think Rusty Kruger, obviously, Max is on that team. Phil Sanderson's son also on that team. That group didn't lose until, like Bantam, or what was formerly known as Bantam. This Orangeville group has been waiting for that year to come through for a long time, and Kruger's looked just fine here.
Wills and Teepa with a battle behind the plate. Cameron Pack, meanwhile, took it straight to the rack.
Yeah, good take by Pack. Kazak is just such a difference maker in there.
Near side, Lubinecki. Elijah Edwards will chase him into the corner. Comes back for Nikolic. Under 9 to play. Lubinecki wants the pass, not going to get it. Low shot there on the run from Booth. And the save made from Richards, but went out of play, so the reset comes. Here's Collison. Shot hits off Richards, reset as Firth brings it down.
This is good for Beaches. About a minute, going on a minute, close to a minute and a half where they've had the ball. The resets are basically just as good as cause turnovers.
Big screen from Firth. Knocked his man back. Firth will now give back to Lubinecki. Far side, Collison. Ducks, drives, shoots, and just wide. That was going to bounce into the Northmen bench.
I don't think he realized how wide open he was there. He got through the first layer of defense, could have walked it in.
Here's Matthews.
A good example still, though, one defender's not going to be enough for Collison most times when he's trying to get to the goal.
Onofrio and Matthews. It's Matthews with the shot. Kazak to save and getting that big stick, making sure there's no rebound.
Very active with that stick. Those things are heavier than people probably realize.
Yes.
Not easy to just let him kind of use them as aggressively as he does, but if you can, super effective.
Palmer over the top. Goes to the far side. That's McPherson finding his man behind the crease late in the shot clock here as well. Spinning off pressure it comes. Back for Nikolic. Excuse me, that's Liam Aston who's on hat-trick watch.
Good possession by Aiden Long there defensively. He's been a bright spot for Orangeville, one of their biggest bodies, which I think is going to be really important throughout the rest of this summer. Especially teams like Mimico with their size on offense. You know, you're going to need heavier guys to throw in there.
You keep calling their name, but they're down big tonight, 12-5. Also the score in that one, Peterborough Lakers score 6 in the third in that one after winning their first game of the season. Game not over as of yet.
Block shot by Caden Hewitt there, getting the boys fired up. Said it before, I'll say it again. Don't rub it.
11-7, Arrows are winners tonight. And as we started off telling you, KW Burlington, a 10-10 tie, the first tie of the season. Collison into the corner, no shot, as it rolls into Richards.
Firth got a great motor here. Obviously this game, 7 goals, a fair differential running out the clock, but Firth just plays hard. Every shift plays a lot, like a lot of other great players, and just never seems to get tired.
Onofrio, Williams to Deere on the crease, tried to return it back. Max Kruger will chase it down. You can see he's still got the AP no-shoot-itis disease, but I'm sure that'll change with time. Deere took the shot and then chopped the stick out of the hands of Knockett. Went across the floor right and landed at the official's feet, and Knock just kind of looked at him and said, "Are you serious?" Now they are going to get a penalty down floor. Slash against Orangeville here.
Got to watch Firth being a shooter here. Sometimes 6-on-5 you can kind of get a little bit, good play.
I was going to say get the socks ready, but Palmer mishandles it on the return, and it will be a slashing call.
Yeah, I think that was Donnie Scott there. Good read, just snuffing that out. And, Palmer, like we've been talking about all night, one of the most capable guys out there. And they still get a good look out of it, but at least you're not just giving up the easiest thing, which is first stepping in for a shot. So good recognition by Orangeville.
I think Kazak might be done here with a 12-5 victory. Check the schedule because Beaches have been taking a couple big guys out. We haven't seen a lot of Collison or Firth.
And they've played a lot. They had 3 games this week, and now this is their 4th game, within the last week. So
we'll see them. We'll see them again on Wednesday. That is their next game in Oakville at 8 p.m. By the way.
Yeah, 3 days. At this level is a lot. They've been busy, but the OJLL a little bit of a later start than there used to be when I was playing, and the end time is the same. So the games come fast and furious here now that we're into the heart of the schedule.
Nick Parolin has a win on the season. He'll take over for Kazak, who was exceptional here tonight. His goal streak is going to come to an end, however. Richards went through a bit of a cross check there. Okay.
McPherson narrowly avoided getting a little snack of
He was about to find out how heavy those sticks are.
Yeah.
Cam Sanderson around the crease. Garrett Jennings going to chase the errant pass. As I say, we didn't see a lot of Firth and Collison. They're out playing defense as that shot.
And if you don't think Richards is tough and can fight, get on the YouTube machine. You're already on the YouTube machine if you're watching this. Once this game is done, go look it up because he's capable.
Got suspended for a playoff game a few years ago as a result of the dust-up in Whitby. Trey Deer part of that, Liam Matthews. There were a lot of guys part of that. Here's Hewitt. Under 4 to go.
It was nothing compared to the dust up between those two teams in this building a few years before that. If you want to talk about a lot of guys being involved, try everybody being involved.
All of the above, yes.
Yeah.
Quick stick, looking for Aston, and Richards there to make the save. By the way, they have gone final in Mimico, 12-6. The Mountaineers lose their first game of the season at the hands of Peterborough, who go back-to-back. Broughton lost his stick. Matthews sniffed a lane to the net. Now turns it back. Again, all of this with Trey Deer still in the penalty box. Kruger. He'll come over the top. There's a penalty called as Matthews took his man for a ride down on the crease. It's Broughton who's going to go. He's arguing it with the official, but you can see how tired Liam Matthews is. He's been out there. You want to talk tired defenses. Going to get a break as they call for a wipe down, but tired power play here for Orangeville, who've been on the floor most of this third period.
Yeah, this is actually a good call by the officials. You're going to see Matthews start to push him in, and then Broughton kind of grabs him and holds on to him here. This is where the hold is, right here. Matthews was pretty good at, if you're going to hold me, I'm going to feed it to you, but I think that's still a hold nonetheless.
Just as they skipped out of frame, by the way, told you that we'll have the game on Wednesday. We will also have Six Nations and Brampton from Brampton Memorial Arena on Tuesday night. That's an 8 p.m. start. Both of those teams with 4 wins to their record. And going to be a very important one for both of those teams. So be sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you turn your notifications on, you will get an alert every time we go live throughout the season with your OJLL Game of the Week.
It's only getting better, Matty. The lacrosse is only going to get better here as we go through. Everyone's back from school now. And
Kruger, the trophy goal. As you said, Donnie, he hasn't looked out of place. You can see how much respect the bench has for him and the cheer that went up when he put it in as well.
It seemed like he had a few words for the Beaches bench on the way off, too.
Sure.
It's perfect.
Get it, my dude?
It's perfect. Not a whole lot to analyze. Steps into the top of the power play and just lets it fly. But, cool experience. Yeah, right there. He's letting the boys know. He said, I'm going to go win another U17 title this year, and then you're going to have to deal with me for 5 more.
Kruger, his first Junior A game. Scores from the outside, although hasn't been much to cheer about for the home side here in this building tonight. But that one and the announcement gets the fans going. It pulls Orangeville within 6. Still 2.5 to go, though, in regulation.
You want to talk about, by the way, a fan base that knows the game. The crowd here was fully aware of what what happened there. He speaks to the kind of the family atmosphere here in Orangeville. They know him, and he's been around for a long time.
And wasn't even on the roster either. Like if you just showed up and picked up the roster at the door, you wouldn't know. So
right.
As you said, everybody here knew exactly what happened, when it happened, and will it happen again? And no, they're gonna hold things up here. Cam Sanderson has been talking all night long, and he's getting somebody riled up through the middle, and we'll see what the penalty's all about now. As the officials try and call this one perhaps a bit tighter.
Sanderson's the only guy going to the box. He
ate a high stick before that and then turned and retaliated. So yes, the retaliatory penalty always gets called, but I think they missed one before that, to be fair. Inside the 2-minute warning.
A little bit surprised that Firth and Collison are still on the floor, to be completely honest here, just running out the clock.
5 for high sticking for Cam Sanderson. Get the socks ready. Firth sitting on 5. Palmer sends it there now, down into the corner. Collison. All the big boys out for one more run here on the power play. Firth behind his back. Collison, corner, all alone on the crease. Booth cut back. Richards made the save. Booth got blown up after that. And Richards still trying to look for an outlet. He finds Trey Deer.
Got to go here at the 8 seconds.
Yeah, only 8 to get across that center line. Deer clears that and then goes right to the crease, although his foot carried over the line. And again, you don't have to touch down in the crease here in summer ball, just have to cut through that cylinder.
Matthew's getting a pound of flesh here at the end of the game.
There are some individual battles that are being settled.
I've been there. You're an offensive guy. You take all game, and sometimes it feels good to give it back.
Well, that's what Owen Ron just did to Wills, and Ron's going to sit. Shot clock expires, and a lot of attention back here with Graydon Stokes at the line, and the wave goodbye and the point to the scoreboard from Isaac Wills.
Not going to help his case.
Speaking about young guys giving it to the bench, goodness.
He's got to be careful, but yeah, and 5 defenders coming out now for Beaches.
45 seconds left on a 5-on-3 power play.
Yeah, just not worth a couple more slashes on your best players.
Warm up the
might see something here.
Warm up the bus, and we'll see you Thursday. Another penalty coming. Lubinecki decides not to shoot at the side of the crease. Even Parolin to the bench. They're not even going to bring the extra attacker out. Graydon Stokes wants to make his statement. Now, Zach Poirier grabs face mask of Lubinecki. And perhaps his share of the hot water as well. Lubinecki grinning to the fans.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh.
Just showing his pearly whites.
Do we have someone that can escort him out of the city here? I don't know about that one, but okay. Look at the penalty. Look at the box that has both sides been full throughout the evening. Extra penalty on the board for Orangeville. And this is going to be another victory for the Toronto Beaches, who will move to 8-0 on the season.
Just waiting to run out the clock now. You mentioned another great victory for this Beaches team. You know, just so many layers that you have to get by, which is similar to every team that is, wins Ontario and heads out to the Minto Cup. You got to be able to defend, Will and Firth, right? That takes a certain, kind of defense. You got to have guys who are quick and savvy to hang with Firth. You got to have someone who's big enough to bang with Collison on those same possessions, right? The same two-man games. You got to be, you got to get out and play those shooters. Well, that's when the east-west ball movement comes up. You get back picks through the middle. They score in transition. This defense is very good, very active. Maybe not as big as some other defenses around the province, but looks like we're going to have a penalty shot here.
The extra penalty with under 2 to go, is that what we're dealing with here? The stack penalty?
I think so. It's, the OJLL rulebook's been on my reading list. Haven't gotten to it in a little bit.
Well, this is going to be one of those rules that, I mean, it's going to take you a while to get to. It's in the back pages when you start worrying about penalty shots. Will be taken by Hamish McPherson one-on-one here with Richards. Couple fakes and scores. Five scorers tonight, combining for now 13 goals.
We're seeing another penalty shot here.
Okay.
AJ Nicoluk, Cornell boy.
Stepped in the crease.
Snuck up out of nowhere.
Oh.
Penalty shots are hard. I've had one penalty shot. It was in the first 3 minutes of my first NLL preseason scrimmage. It did not go well. I will never get to do it ever again. I had my chance and I blew it.
Which is hilarious because like every kid, when they come out and play intermission all the way up, even in practice, are like, oh man, if I ever get a penalty shot, this is exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, Callum Crawford takes them for us in the wintertime. He does a much better job. and I don't think I'm second in line either. So
Horn goes. This one was all Toronto Beaches here tonight. Got up big early and just kept it rolling. 13-6 is going to be your final score. An impressive night for the visiting team.
Yeah, another great night here. Another very good crowd in Tony Rosarina. Always great to see, and it's pretty clear that the path to this, the OJLL championship, at least for now, is going to go through Beaches, and they got a lot of work left to do. But 8-0, working on a pretty nice season so far.
Task gets tough for them on Wednesday. It'll be another road game at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, 8 p.m. against the Oakville Buzz. However, our next broadcast will be Tuesday night from Brampton, the Excelsiors and the Arrows. On behalf of my partner, Jonathan Donville, our producer, Gary Morrison for the JVI Sports Network, Colleen Grimes from the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, our director, Rachel Wolf. My name's Matthew Carrick saying good night from Tony Rosarina. Beaches win 13-6. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
We're living on our time, yeah. Around downtown, top show cute in a cocktail lounge. Grab the boys and make some noise. It's dealer's choice, so pick your place of poison.